What's up, Barnhill family, and welcome back to your home for all things combat sports.
Yo.
So, Nick, the time has come. We have to predict Adesanya versus Pereira 2 or 4 or however you want to look at it, the second installment in MMA. But before we do that, I mean, this fight has real big fight feel. The magnitude and the momentum behind this one, you can feel it.
Absolutely, and the ticket prices are going through the roof. I think this is going to be one of the most expensive UFCs you've gone to in quite some time. So I feel like this fight is the perfect next fight for Alex Pereira because we did kind of want to see the Israel versus Alex chapter take place. And we didn't know if it was going to be a one-fight thing or if it's going to end up being a trilogy. And this does sort of feel like the right next step for both fighters. Israel Adesanya did more than enough to get himself an immediate rematch. I mean, he's been such a great champion for so long. And Alex Pereira just has a perfect dance partner in Israel Adesanya because they have such a rich history. And this is one of those stories that legitimately Hollywood couldn't come up with. This is one of those rare cases where you've got a guy who seems to be haunting your champion, and the UFC was able to do something that was so rare and so cool, which was seem like they were searching the globe to find the best fighter or find the one guy that can beat their champion. And then they bring him, they fast track him right through the rankings and then give him a title shot. And then, of course, he's able to win. I mean, you literally can't write a script like this. So while you have these two guys and they're right there and the rivalry is real, you got to make this thing happen. So I do feel like this fight came a little bit faster than probably Israel Adesanya wanted it to, but I'm grateful that it's happening and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, this is definitely a great fight, and it does feel like it came right out of a Hollywood studio as far as the story is concerned. The UFC has this dominant champion in Israel Adesanya. He's beat the champions of old in the Anderson Silvas. He's run through the division of 185 multiple times over. He's beaten the who's who, but guess what? There's this guy from the Amazonia in Brazil who beat him back in the day. There's some obscure, standard definition, low-grade footage of a knockout, and there was an oxygen mask involved, et cetera, et cetera. Let's go get that guy and put him in the organization and see if he can beat Izzy. And oh, by the way, after his kickboxing run, he became an alcoholic and he was working on cars. I mean, it's a true Hollywood story in every sense of it. And then he comes through, as you said, runs through the division. Yes, did he get a little fast-tracked? Probably he did. Most fighters wouldn't have gotten that sort of run to the title if it weren't for the background that he had with Adesanya. But every time they put him in there, he looked good. He's a finisher. He's exactly what the UFC matchmakers like, and he matched up well against the champion, and he proved that in the first outing. This is a fight that's totally different than the first one, in my opinion. In the first one, Alex was still very new to MMA. He still had to prove himself. A lot of people were saying, hey, that guy doesn't deserve a title shot. Just because what he did in kickboxing doesn't mean that he should jump the line. Izzy's going to wipe the floor with him in MMA. This is a different sport. This is a different era. But then he won. And he won emphatically in that last round and showed that he still has that power to finish Adesanya even under the MMA rule set. Now he looks like a different fighter. He's got the Chuck Liddell haircut. He's got the mustache. He's sparring these big heavyweights. He's putting it on people in the training footage that he's showing. He's working with Glover in his grappling. I expect what already was a confident Poatan to come out even more confident. And I think he's going to try to finish Adesanya earlier than he did the last time and more emphatically. And guess what? My prediction is going to be that he does. I think Pereira's got Adesanya's number, and some fighters just have that. There's one guy out there that he's just a bad stylistic matchup for you, and no matter how many times you fight him or how many different game plans you bring to the equation, they're just going to get their hand raised. I feel like Pereira is that for Izzy, and so for that reason, I think he's going to win again, and I think he's going to knock him out again. This time it's going to be a little bit earlier.
Absolutely, and after you've beaten a guy so many times, you do start to try to beat your own records, like how much faster can I knock him out this time than I did last time? So he's going to be looking to get Izzy out of there even faster and better than he did last time, and Izzy had some great moments in that last fight. The way he was able to control the fight from the outside and score a lot of points was great for Izzy, and he was able to get the fight down, and people are like, wow, look at Izzy. He's utilizing some grappling, showcasing the MMA aspect of, their skills and the fact that he does have a leg up on Alex Pereira on the ground, but he wasn't able to solidify those positions for very long. Alex was always able to get back up on his feet, and that did sort of exhaust Izzy after he was able to get him down, but not able to hold him down, and that is pretty tiring. So I feel like Izzy was winning rounds, but he was almost doing too much to win those rounds. He probably could have coasted and saved a little bit of energy in each one of those rounds, but he was trying early on in that fight to knock Pereira out. And I think at this point, Izzy Adesanya knows that he cannot knock Alex Pereira out, and he's got to go fight a perfect fight for 25 minutes. So he needs to be really conservative with his energy. He needs to go out there and do what he has to do to win rounds. And then if he's got to coast and ride his bike around a little bit and do a little bit of showmanship and sort of just evade the danger, then go do that. But Alex Pereira is going to be looking to close the distance. He's going to be looking to knock you out early on because he did finish you last time, but he doesn't want to just have this thing where it's like, okay, well, I lost a bunch of minutes of this fight, but I was able to get the knockout. No, there's no luck involved in this. He has Izzy's number, and I think he's going to go out there and try to knock him out early. I'm predicting a first or second round finish for Alex Pereira, and I think if he does that, we're going to see some serious soul searching coming from Israel Adesanya. You know, he can't really move up to 205 because what happens if he does that? Pereira moves up to 205, and neither of them can get down to 170. So Pereira sort of puts Izzy on this no man's land, and it really does change the trajectory of Izzy Adesanya's legacy.
Izzy said something in an interview recently that was a little bit concerning to me. And he said the end is near as far as my fighting career goes. I don't know if that's 4 fights, 5 fights, or however many fights it's going to be, but you guys won't see me here in a handful of years. And when a fighter starts talking that way, especially after a loss against a really tough opponent like Alex Pereira, it always makes me wonder, do they have one foot out of the door? Are they looking to the next chapter in their life? And then you couple that with the fact that Adesanya is somebody who's made a lot of money. He's got a lot of opportunity. He's an extraordinarily charismatic guy. He could make money doing anything, and people will watch him doing anything. He's big in the anime world. He's big in the breakdancing world. Alex Pereira is a fighter. He's a fighter that comes to knock people out and take people's souls. And I am just concerned for Izzy when he's talking about retirement, getting in there again against a guy who just finished him, and now he's uber confident. Now he's had 6 months more grappling under his belt, and he is very much a beginner as far as that is concerned. So I think we'll see a more vast improvement than you would see out of most fighters between now and 6 months ago. And I think he's going to be coming out there looking to finish the fight early, as you said. He's looking for an emphatic finish. The first time, he probably didn't know that he could finish Izzy in MMA. He's like, well, I got him in kickboxing, but the first match was a little bit close. People say it was controversial. The second match, a lot of people said he was beating me until I knocked him out. And now this is a totally different sport, one that he's dominated for the better part of a decade now. So there was probably, even if Alex didn't admit it, a little bit of what if leading into that first fight. There's no what if leading into this fight. He's coming in there with all the momentum. He's coming in there with all the confidence. And the reason that I'm picking him to win is I do see Izzy coming out there a bit like Kamaru Usman just came out against Leon Edwards, a little timid, a step behind. And if Alex can smell blood in the water and smell a little bit of fear in there, he is going to go on the absolute offensive. And I think he's going to finish the fight early. As you said, I'm also going to predict a very early stoppage, first or second round.
Very nice.